afternoon, everyone, and happy Friday, TGIF to you. Oh my goodness, we are winding down. We have about, for those of us who actually try to take a break during the holidays, we have about one more working week to get it done before 2021. But while we're working on business and our community engagements and our philanthropy, what are we doing for ourselves? Well, I have my good friend, Sheila Zayas, who is going to help us talk about mind, body, and spirit today. Hi, Sheila.
Hello. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. So for those who don't know, Sheila and I have been the best of friends for at least 15 years or so, right?
Yes.
And we met. Sheila attended an event we did. It was a fashion show on Palm Beach called High Fashion High Tea, and we deliberately said it was not your grandmother's tea party. And we had so much fun. And Sheila, being the person she is, came and introduced herself, and immediately we became friends. She invited us over for lunch, cooked the best lunch ever. And then once you feed me, we're pretty much best friends.
That's it. And then y'all ate all my sunflower seeds.
Ate all your sunflower seeds. But Sheila, I am just so happy you're joining me. But beyond that, Sheila has not only been a good friend over the years. Sheila works with us within a Mosaic group where she designs a lot of our clients' collateral and logos and material, and does such an amazing job with your work. So thank you, first of all, for all that you do with our team.
Thank you.
And your group. But today you wear a different hat. But I want you to tell us about all of it. I know you, but my audience may not know you. So, and they should know you because you're super freaking amazing. So, tell us, who is Sheila Zayas?
So by day, I'm a graphic designer. I used to be in marketing and public relations, and I was stressed out of my mind, just from a level of 1 being zero stress to 10 being frazzled and overwhelmed. I was a 12.
Wow.
I wasn't sleeping. I had to get constant massages, and I thought that it was just my back and working at my desk all day. And from having this anxiety and overwhelm and craziness that my life was, I said, I need some relief from this. So I started to delve into breathing and meditation and crystal healing and energy healing. And now I'm sleeping through the night. My stress level went from 12 to 8 to 6 to 4, now to 2, because there's just always stress, right?
Yeah.
I feel zero anxiety. I just happy, smiling. Life is great. I became engaged at the beginning of this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I said, oh my gosh, this is next to a miracle. I need to bring this unto others. So I went and started taking certifications and learning and seeking information on how I can bring the same level of healing and unraveling of self and self-awareness to others. So I started a company recently called the Sanctuary for Mind, Body, and Spirit, in which I offer energy healing and not only the services of energy healing to bring people to their inherent healing abilities, but also products to lead them there as well, like body care products and meditation cushions and sound bowls and things like that.
Wow. I say that because I sigh, because you touched on so many things, right? Just stress level. And I know you said you went from what, a 12 to, okay, so mine must be like 20. Me, Shayla? Shayla, are you there? Can you hear me? Did you hear me before? I think I kind of like.
All I heard was 20, and then it cut off. So
yeah,
you're at 20.
Yeah. So my stress levels are like at a 20, like all the time. And I know I'm not the only one. And I've been struggling to try to find this balance, right? This thing called balance. And just recently I was like, well, maybe I need to find harmony and try to make it all exist somehow, so I don't have to give up something to get something or whatever. So, but I can so relate to the high stress levels and just really trying to figure out how to bring them down. And a lot of what you talked about, as I've been recently learning and trying to research in my time, my moments that I have alone, is it's all spirituality part of it. It's all like this awakening that I guess has to happen within yourself. And a lot of times when you talk about this to someone who's just unaware or not awakened, including self, they look at you real crazy. Like, what is this moon stuff and this astrology stuff and this meditation stuff and this healing stuff? And what is all of this, right? And I'm sure you've gotten in your experience, and maybe even you were there at one point, I don't know. So take us through that journey of how to kind of get rid of these misperceptions of this healing journey, of it being kind of like aloof. Like how do you coach people through that to make them see that it's actually a positive journey for them to take, and become more self-aware and more centered?
You hit the nail right on the head when you say awakening. It is an awakening. Do you hear an echo from me?
No, you're fine now. It was a little muffled initially, but yeah.
It is an awakening. It is an awareness that you come to. You have to come to a place, in my personal experience, you have to come to a place where you say, no, I can't take this anymore. No more. The chaos, the overwhelm, the feeling like you're going, like just being pulled to, from, fro, back, forth.
It's me right now. Yeah.
You just get to your bed and you're like, what did I do today? Wow. And then you wake up the next day and you do it all over again.
Yeah.
And we live in a society that is so conditioned to one way, right? Religion is just one way. Non-denominational religion, that's burst about in the last maybe 15 to 20 years, is one way. So as people think that it's just one way to skin the cat, when there isn't. We all hold our own truths. What works for me wouldn't necessarily work for you, because the layers of Ann Marie, or anybody who's listening to this, is not the same layers that cover my internal being. And as you're pulling back your own layers, now you're discovering, oh, okay, well, when I was little, my teacher yelled at me, and somehow my child self took that on to adult life. So now I replicate that same situation with my boss always mad at me, with my partner always mad at me and me always trying to make them happy and trying to make my teacher happy in these various external situations. So what I tell people is it has to come from you. It has to be self-seeking. I can't lead anybody to the well.
Right.
It has to be an inquiry where now this teacher appeared and that teacher so happened to be me. That teacher so happened to be a child. That teacher so happened to be a situation. And then you continue on in this stepping up through these various, it's kind of like Mario Brothers. You go through your various levels.
Yeah.
And each level is increasingly harder and harder as you get deeper and deeper, because the deeper that you go, that's where you hide the most, right? The deeper in. So it's just, you have to come to a place yourself where this is unbearable. I can't take it anymore. And I need help. And trust me, God, the universe, angels, whatever it is that you believe in, will lead you, will present you with the situations and the people to bring about that uncovering, that awakening.
Yeah. No, I love that. So where does one start? Like, if you're feeling this overwhelming, stressful, just unbalanced, unaligned feeling, and we all know what that feeling is like. I think we do. We may not identify what to do with it, but we all know what it's like. I think for me, this feeling started definitely at least 5 years ago, right? So what have I done in the meantime? I've definitely gotten a therapist, right? To try to figure out why I'm so stressed, but not only stressed, but the stress that was causing levels of, I don't want to claim depression, but that's what it was really leading to, in a sense, where there were times where I would just get home and sit in my parking lot and just cry for no reason. I mean, I'm sure there was a reason, but I don't know what the triggers were, right? And then trying to figure out what that is. So definitely, I did the whole let me get a therapist, which was great. And I still do have a therapist that I see at least once a month minimum, to just talk to about whatever I may be dealing with in general. But I think it goes beyond that. And I started realizing that there has to be more to this than just me seeing a therapist. How do I now find that additional alignment that I'm missing? Because it's great to get it out and talk to someone, but I still didn't feel like it was making me, I still don't feel like it's making me whole. And so, then, and because I'm not a really religious person, I don't go to church every Sunday. I'm religious curious. So I'm curious about various religious beliefs and practices. I think that they all have some fundamental principles and morals and values that each religion share. So I'm more religion curious and more spiritual. But then I start thinking, well, am I really spiritual? Because we use that real loosely, right? Oh, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. But how spiritual are we if we haven't even really connected with our own spirit inside and with the universe? So now I'm to the phase where I'm like, okay, I'm starting to read some books, thanks to you and a few other friends, on awakening and third eye and Reiki and all those different pieces. But I still I don't really know how to meditate properly. I try, and my mind still just be like, ooh, all over the place. So where does one start? How do you let someone know where to start? And then when is it time for them to see you? Or do they see you in the beginning to learn how to start? Like, how does it all unfold for someone?
So you touched on so many things. So when you said that you would I'll go backward before I answer your question. When you said that you would sit in your car and you would cry and you wouldn't even know why, that's because I would say 90 to 95% of us lives in our subconscious. We are just this computer program that goes through life, and we're reacting and we're perceiving and we're viewing the world through our computer program.
Yeah.
And that computer program is full of emotions, experiences, hurts, joys. And you and I can go to the same event and come out of that event with completely different experiences and perceptions because we viewed it through our lenses. And we think those lenses are our eyes, and it's not. What our eyes see is only 4% of what's really happening. We can only see 4% of existing light and the electromagnetic field. The other 96% is happening outside of our own awareness. And that's why it's so important to meditate. So now I'll come to that. Meditation. I've been meditating regularly for 2023 years, 4 years. And I still have to be guided. I still use an app and do guided meditations for me to sit there and just, I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to close my eyes and I'm going to breathe and concentrate on my breathing. I still can't do it.
Okay.
So it takes years of practice to get to that point where you're meditating without a guidance. So number one, if you're new to meditation, I would recommend an app like Insight Timer to follow a voice to tell you, okay, now if your thoughts have drifted, come back to your breath. And it's just
Insight Timer, is that like Insight? And they just download it?
Yes, from your app store. And I know that's for Android. I don't know if that exists for iPhone, but for iPhone, Calm is one of the biggest meditation apps out there.
Okay.
For both programs, operating systems rather, Android and iPhone, Calm.
Okay.
So I would say that in order to start, it would be good to either see a therapist or go to an energy healer like myself. And when I say energy healer, that doesn't mean that I have magical powers and I know something other than what anybody else does. What a healer actually does is lead you to your own healing. You are the healer. I can never heal Ann Marie. I have no power over Ann Marie. I can only lead Ann Marie to the awareness of her own healing, to the awareness of where that crying is coming from, to what you don't want to call depression, but darkness. We'll call it darkness. And just this feeling of a void, and what am I missing, and why am I not happy even though I have a beautiful home, a beautiful car, a job or a business, or members of the community know me? Why am I not still feeling fulfilled? I lead people to the place in themselves, the subconscious place in themselves, to discover and to ask those deep questions. Who am I? What am I doing here? What do I have to offer aside from promotions, aside from client commitment and development, aside from these things that we for our business? What do I really have to offer humanity?
Right.
So the way that a healer leads people through that is the same, is through using the same energy. I've learned how to use the same energy that moves through you, through me, through every person within the reach of my voice, through that moves through the trees, that moves through the atmosphere. Right now, between myself and this camera, you think that it's empty space. But right here, there's trillions upon trillions of molecules and atoms, helium, oxygen, hydrogen. I'm breathing it in. It's a constant interaction between my body and this space that's in front of me. So we work with that same energy. Some people call it the Holy Spirit. Some people call it chi, prana, whatever lexicon you choose to use. We use that energy to drive it inside of you through breath, through Reiki, through crystals, through whatever other method. Those are the methods that I use personally. Whatever other method any other healer uses. So we get that same energy in you. We help you channel that energy inside of yourself. And little by little, you start awakening. You start discovering things about yourself. Oh, so that's why I do that. Oh, so that's okay. And it's a okay to okay. And from okay to okay, that's where our healing happens.
So let me ask you a couple of things. So one of our listeners wants to know what, share, and I'll share some books that I read. Please share the names of books. I'm realigning myself to continue on this journey. So do you have what are some of your favorite books that you read through your journey that you can share with us?
Anything from Abraham Hicks is amazing. There's a woman who's a channel. She channels a spirit called Abraham Hicks, and I've gotten a lot of freedom from listening to or reading those books, because in the books he talks about these layers and how you can so there's the layers are from here to here, right? So let's say that you're here, depression, darkness, taking medication because you're feeling bad, which I'd love to talk about medication in just a moment too.
Yeah.
So you can't go from here to here. I've been on this journey for 7 years and I'm still healing myself. And in the beginning, I was like, nothing's happening. Why is there nothing happening? Because it needs to go like this. If you were to go like this, you'd be in a crisis. If you were to uncover everything that is wrong with you and spill it just all out, you'd be vomiting.
Okay, so I'm not, it's not taking too long. Okay.
Everything is in its right, beautiful, magical timing.
Okay.
So Abraham Hicks, anything from Mike Dooley, Dooley. He talks about visualization and just visualizing yourself. Spend 5 minutes a day visualizing yourself, just smiling and happy and joyful and happy tears and being embraced by family because something great is happening to you as a family. And this space between this energy right now has no other choice but to bring about that which because thoughts are things. Thoughts, even though you I just thought about Ann Marie, I can't just grab Ann Marie because I just saw her in my mind. But that is whenever let's say you're thinking about someone and a few days later they called you and you're like, I was just thinking about you. Thoughts do emit radio waves from your brain that bring about. So he talks about a lot of visualization, which has been tremendous in my life. When you mentioned earlier, what do I have to let go in order to save my sanity? You don't have to let go of anything. I'm doing so much more now with my time than I was when I was working full time as a director of marketing and PR. and I was overwhelmed out of my mind. But now I'm running 2 different businesses, one of which is brand new. So I'm, setting that up and setting up my website and thinking of my marketing and thinking of my clientele and where I'm going to run it from. And then all day long, I'm working with my graphic design business, and I'm sewing stuff at night also. And I'm making products for my website. I'm doing so much more, and I have zero stress about it. Everything is just free flowing. So you don't have to let go of anything except that emotional baggage, except that internal chaos. Calm the chaos. Once I calmed my internal chaos, everything just started flowing out of me. Ideas, thoughts, and people, and just it's like a magnet, like choo, 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 choo.
Yeah. Totally. That is so awesome. I'll share with you a couple of the ones that I've been reading over the last few months. So I read this one book, Melanin, Gift of the Cosmos, by Jade Asaikiwe. And I thought that was important to understand melanin and the connection to the universe. And how melanin exists in all of us, but of course more in those of us who are darker. Then I read Women Wisdom from the Heart of Africa, which was really amazing. It's by Sabonfu Somé, and she takes you on this journey of her tribe, where she comes from in West Africa. And all of the different rituals and the different ways that women are celebrated is so contrary to how we're taught in our culture here in America and even other parts, even in the Caribbean. But it was so good and it's still that connection to the universe. It's still the connection to self. And it's just a celebration of yourself as a woman. And then Vibrate Higher Daily, Live Your Power by Layla Delia is one that I also just recently finished up. And then the latest one that I started, which is an 8-part book. This one is more along the lines, and Sheila, you're my inspiration behind this book. And it's Emotional Intelligence, and it's by Mark Madison, and it's 8 parts, and it takes you through everything from the third eye to Reiki to spiritual healing to behavioral awareness. It's fascinating. So I'm still like in the first couple of books. I haven't made it all the way through all 8 yet. So that's going to be one of my holiday break to finish those. But those are some of the ones that I've been recently checking out.
Nice. One of my girlfriends, who's also on this journey of peeling back the layers of herself. Can I say a bad word?
Yeah, of course.
She's reading a book called Pussy Prayers.
Oh.
And it's a book about coming to terms with your vagina, with your womanhood, with stopping hating your period, with healing previous partners who you just opened your flower up to out of looking for love, out of whatever it was that you just maybe he wasn't one that I should have. Yeah. So healing those partners, and she says that it's been really good as well. So that's another one.
No, that's a really good one. She and Queen Afua, who has a book. It's a spiritual awakening book as well. She actually has 2 books. What is? And I don't have it in front of me, but she has a couple of books. But Queen Afua, if you look her up, but she definitely talks about womb care and the similar things, healing from the womb, healing from. Say what a title. Healing from within. And then she also creates these, the book talks about creating these sister circles where you and other women get together to do this healing work, right? So it's definitely, it's a thing, which I didn't know was a thing before. And there's so much more that goes into it. So can you talked about products, because I think the other part of healing and spiritual healing and that connection, that awakening, is also what we eat. And then you mentioned medication. So let's talk about what we put in our bodies as well.
So medication, number one, what the part of our body that we can feel, that we can see, and this physical part of us is so much less. This physical body is actually inside of a subtle energetic body, which is your real body. And when we feed this physical body, we're also feeding this other encasing of us. You might call it an aura, electromagnetic field, whatever the word that you choose. Food, medications, and anything that you ingest also has an electromagnetic field. And that you're feeding your body with micronutrients, with the proteins and the carbohydrates and all of those things, but there's also, those things also have an aura. So it affects you. That's why when you eat a lot of sugar, how do you feel, right? When you eat a green smoothie, like, you feel vibrant and healthy and alive. And when you eat a nice hearty salad, you're like, oh, like, that felt good, right? But when you eat this heavy, greasy meal, you feel a certain way because food is interacting. Now you're interacting. Why do you think they call it fuel, right? Because it's fueling you either this way or it's fueling you this way. There's a certain life form that also comes from the consumption of food and medication. And I'll get to medication in just a second after I say this. But consumption is not just those things. We consume through this, we consume through this, and we consume through this. Your diet is not only what you're eating, it's also what you are putting through your eyes. It's also what you're choosing to put into your ears. So if you're going to guard those areas, don't just guard what you're eating. Don't just think of healthy foods. Think of things that also bring life on into your eyes and into your ears. For this Thanksgiving, my family, and I was really happy that all my nieces and nephews, minus one, was there. But instead of going around and saying what we're grateful for, we all went around the table and you had to speak words of life to the person to the left of you.
I love that.
I claim success for your business. I claim continued love and sobriety for my brother, and everybody successively spoke life, because we are speaking life. Life is entering through our ears, or death. Now with medication, anything else aside?
No, that's good.
In terms of medication, so it's so easy to, hey, I'm feeling bad, let me take an antidepressant so I can feel better. We're always seeking to feel better. And this answer actually goes back to what you asked me earlier. What can we do? You have to feel those emotions, because those emotions are the teachers of what is actually going on. So the antidepressant, the whatever other medication, is only masking the root of where the issue is coming from.
Gotcha.
Depression, high blood pressure. I I know illnesses, but somehow none of them are coming to my mind.
Diabetes, heart disease.
Thank you. It all starts here first.
Hormone imbalances.
Thank you. It all starts in this electromagnetic field in our aura, and little by little, it's making its way onto the physical, and it has to. It's a law. It's a spiritual law. But what emotion caused that? What trauma caused that? What negative thought caused that? What self-hatred caused that? And that's why energy healing exists, because since all of those things live in the subconscious, our goal and our purpose is to make it bubble up to, oh, okay. My whole goal and my practice is, oh, okay. That should be my tagline.
Nobody will get it. You should make a little jingle out of it. If you don't know what's going on, oh, okay.
So the medication is only masking the root cause of that crying, of that feeling, of that. And unfortunately, none of us wants to feel it, but we must in order to get to where is that coming from. And that's where it all started for me, where I was like, oh my gosh, I can't take this anymore. And I smoked weed from the time that I woke up in the morning to the time I went to bed. All day long for 20 years, I was just self-medicating on marijuana. And when I stopped and I actually felt my feelings, and I actually sat there with my anxiety, and I said, okay, I feel you. I'm here. Where are you? Where are you coming from? Mm-hmm. What are you trying to tell me? What is the teaching here that you're here? And little by little, to bubble up to, oh, okay. So now I feel zero anxiety. Some, here and there I do. Like when I have a big project due, and I'm like, oh crap, I got to do this, and I procrastinated. So I'm not saying that everything is just life is just rosy and nothing bad happens to me, but
you handle it a lot differently.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's the major part of what anyone who's listening should be able to take away, is that we do need to pause to go on this journey to, like you said, feel our emotions, listen to ourselves. Because I had someone ask, I was talking to someone the other day, and they were like, well, do you smoke? And I said, no, I don't smoke. They said, well, do you drink? And I said, well, I'm more of a really social drinker. Like, although I have tons of alcohol here at the house, I don't just drink by myself. I just don't. And I don't have guests to be drinking. So I was like, and I haven't been going to events, I don't drink. So I was like, so then the person's like, well, what are your vices? And I said, well, work, maybe. And they said, well, work can't be, your vice. And I said, well, I don't have any vices. I said, but being busy is what I would consider my vice. And for those who don't have the other habits, their vice may also be being busy. But then what we do is we find ourselves so out of line or out of alignment with ourselves. We're just going, like you said, that robot. And some days I literally feel like I'm like this robot, or I'm like this hamster that's just on this wheel that just never stops spinning, right? So it's so important for us to know people like yourself who can help take us on this spiritual healing, this journey, this pause, this reconciling of everything that's happening, that's had a cause, and then the effect of stress and everything else, because I've had and I've shared this on this broadcast where, right before COVID, I actually ended up going to before COVID shut everything down, I actually ended up going to the ER because my blood pressure just through the roof. And so for the last 9 months, I've just been really working on regulating my blood pressure because I don't want to get on medication, getting out of the pre-diabetic zone, which thank God last week I went to the doctor and I'm way below it. So I've been doing good on that. Woo-woo. Because I want to avoid medication. I want to avoid, all the things that's going to cause so much harm 20, 30 years from now on my body. So I love what you're doing, Shayla. I love what you've imparted on us today. I think this is so important for people who've just experienced so much this year. There are people who've experienced a lot of loss, whether it's job, family members, friends, whatever that may be that they're going through, that need this healing, right? Relationships. I think some people, they, sat at home with their spouse for a little bit and realized they ain't like each other no more. So there are people who have gone through something, some level of something this year in particular that just seems so much more overwhelming. And as we're going into 2021, we still don't know what 2021 holds. We still don't know what's happening with this pandemic. And we need this type of healing. So definitely, if you had to just kind of give, I know you've given a lot of nuggets today. So, top 3 things, maybe a recap, but top 3 things people can think about doing starting now, today, as they look into the new year, as they get ready for the holidays, as they try to continue to heal themselves from whatever. And it doesn't even have to be impacts from this year, just in general. What are the 3 things that you'd like to leave with our listeners? And then, of course, how can they get in touch with you to help them with this journey?
So one of the things that has been really helpful for me has been journaling, because now you're talking to your higher self. And one of the questions that I would begin in my journal is, what is my numbing agent? How am I numbing myself?
Okay.
Because we're all in a constant state of numbing ourselves, whether that be with staying busy. I got to stay busy because I don't want to feel these feelings. I don't want to deal with the layering. Marijuana for me, alcohol, food, sex, whatever your vice is, how am I numbing myself? Bring me to the awareness of my numb. Another question to ask yourself is, who am I? Once I strip myself of my titles, my what I do as my job, my daily routine, who am I? And what am I doing here? And just start with those questions. And it seems like, I don't really know what to write. Your higher self will speak. Just sit there and thoughts will start entering your mind. Images will start entering your mind, because now your inquiry and your guides, God, your Holy Spirit has no choice but to answer, and it will. That's a guarantee.
So journaling.
Journaling.
Okay.
Number 2, download that meditation app. Nobody can just sit there and just start and I'm just gonna meditate. That's just not how it works. Our minds are just so just download a meditation.
It was just me.
No. Me too.
I was like, I can't get this thing to shut up.
No. Download the app right now, and 5 minutes. Start off with 5 minutes and do that for 2 weeks. And then week 3, now I'm doing 6 minutes. Week 4, now I'm doing 7 minutes. And by the time you know it, the goal is to reach 20 minutes a day.
Okay.
And number 3, find a book. Find a book to open up your mind, to raise your awareness, to open you up, to awaken you.
I love that. And how can they reach you, Shayla, to get if they wanted to do, because I know you do, talk about the sessions that you do.
Yes. So I do two different types of session. I either do Reiki, in which I help the person relax and enter into this meditative state. And then I use the chi, the energy of the universe, the Holy Spirit, prana, to guide that into the person. And we set an intention. Hey, I want to feel less stress. I want to find love. I want to succeed in my business. I want to, whatever it is that you are going through that you'd like to find some relief, or just guide it toward you. We work with that intention together, and we guide Reiki energy onto your body, and this helps you awaken. This helps you to answer these questions. And I also do crystal healing, in which I place various crystals on your energy centers on your body. And same concept, we are guiding the energy into you in order to help you feel less stress, help you with your depression, help you with your success, help you with love, help you with whatever intention, with your children, with your relationship with your children, or anything else. And it's a highly calming experience. If anything, do it for just the experience of it. And through the end of the year until January 1st, I'm offering free sessions. So give me a call, because number one, I'm trying to get my business out there. And number two, I truly, genuinely want to help people. I genuinely want to see others say, wow, that was amazing. I really needed that. I don't relax, which is the biggest thing that clients tell me when they get up from my table. Like, the biggest thing was I was just relaxed. And when you're in a relaxed state, that's when you accept healing. When you're in this constant stress, your nervous system is in fight or flight. These stress hormones are releasing out of your body. So you're in our primitive state. We're waiting for that lion to come and get us, right? And when you're waiting for that lion to come and get you, there's no way that you can just do this.
You do that so lovely. No,
you can reach me is right now through Facebook, and that's facebook.com/MBS Sanctuary. That's mind, body, as in MBS, as in mind, body, spirit sanctuary. Facebook.com/MBS Sanctuary.
All right, Facebook.com/MBS Sanctuary.
Yes.
Okay, so I just put that in the chat for anyone who is watching. And I know someone asked, what was the name of the app? So Calm is an app that you can download, as well as Insight Timer is another meditation app that you can download. You can also just, one of the things that I do is if you have a Fitbit, there's a mindfulness application on your Fitbit where you can track your mindfulness every day. Or if you just go to YouTube and do guided meditation, there's some guided meditation videos on there as well that you can do each morning. So there's definitely some options out there for you. So Sheila, you got to tell me, because I'm sure, like so many. So I was reading, Queen Afua, Sacred Woman is the name of her book. And so I was reading her book, and I went and I bought all this stuff. I'm sure there's other people that need a lesson. So I bought this singing bowl, and I'm like, okay, what do I do with this bowl now? I bought some white candles. I bought, of course, I have a yoga mat. I have crystals that I have no idea what to do with them. And then I'm listening to Beyonce, and she's like, I charge my crystals in the full moon. Like, how do I charge my crystals in the full moon? What does that even mean?
Everybody's going to be charging their crystals.
Right. So everybody's charging their crystals in the full moon, but how do I even charge my crystals? Do I put them in the bowl and just hit the bowl? Like, what am I? So can you tell us what all of these, like I have these beads, chakra beads, My chakra, yeah, right. My chakra beads. Tell us what all of this means, because we'll go out and we buy these things, but we have no idea what to do with them and why they're important. What's the significance of them?
So, number one, every Sunday at 10 a.m., I hold a healing circle, a sacred healing circle, in which we put our bare feet on the ground in order to ground ourselves and to connect with the energy of the earth. People bring their crystals, people bring their bowls, people bring their sage and their Palo Santo, and we go through the various ways on how to use these things. So if anybody's interested, reach out to me on Facebook and I'll give you, yes, I'll give you all the details. It's only about an hour and a half, and we speak words of life over each other. We sage each other. We play with the bowl. It's just a really soothing. We're not like giving any messages. We're not reading any book. We're visualizing and we're meditating, and it's just this very self-centered session.
I love it. You said Sundays at 10?
Every Sunday at 10 a.m.
Okay.
There's no fee. There's just come and receive.
Okay. And they can inbox you for that information.
Absolutely. But nonetheless, with my crystal bowl, do you have yours handy next to you?
I can grab it real quick.
Yeah.
Let me grab it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I should have thought about that. Okay, so mine came with this and this.
And a mallet.
Yeah, okay. So let's talk about what I'm about.
In the palm of your hand,
okay.
Just like that. And you first ding it, but before you ding it, once you ding that bowl, we just think like, sound. But really, there's just this whole dance of waves that are taking place all around you, and even all around the person who's listening to it, because sound is not just something that we hear. There's all of these little swirls of sound waves that are getting ready to hit the air all around you when you use that bowl. And those frequencies not only are being heard by your ears, but every cell in your body just went brrr. You know how when you're the speaker, when you're close to a speaker that's really loud, the speaker's doing this.
Yeah.
Every cell in your body is also like brrr, and it's dancing to it as well, and it's being affected by it. And that raises your vibration to a level that also awakening and peeling back the layers. And when I first started in this journey, one of the first things that I did was go to this sound bath in which a person is doing the sound bowl, and I started to feel so much better and sleeping and just really awakening. So it's not just what's going on inside of your ears, but energetically what the bowl is also entraining your body to raise to a higher vibration. So hold it, ding it, and then start going around the bowl this way.
Is there a particular place inside or outside?
Outside.
And is there any particular place to ding it, or just ding?
Just on the side. Yeah.
Okay, so
ding and go.
Can you hear it?
No.
I hear it.
Oh, I hear it now. And you feel like, oh, what is this? This is not doing anything, but trust me, it is. Just spend 5 minutes doing that here and there, you're watching TV, or as you're reading a book, hold it with one hand and do your bowl with the other. As you're meditating, you can even meditate with your bowl.
Wow, this is amazing. But just feeling the vibration and that it's getting louder.
You can even place it on your body, put it on your upper abdomen, ding, and then do it right before bed.
Wow. And when does it sit on this?
It rests on that.
It rests on that. Okay, so that's where it rests. Okay. Wow. That is amazing. So definitely have to take your have to come check you out on Sundays at 10, because I need to learn about all these amazing healing items that I've purchased. I even have sage, and I have Palo Santo that my niece brought me. I don't know what to do with it. Jackie says she's trying to still figure out how to keep hers lit.
They don't stay lit with fire. It's a smolder. It's a smoldering smoke, and you're continuously walking around. You're supposed to put it on an abalone shell, and you're constantly relighting it. It doesn't stay lit.
Okay, well that's why I won't stay lit, Jackie.
And if yours stays lit, it got too many chemicals, and give it away. Throw it away.
That's too funny. So I know we talked about are there any, so how can someone, because we're in the holiday season and we're gift giving, and I want to talk about some gift giving ideas. So I think that, a session with you, for someone to purchase a session with you for January, could be a great New Year's gift for someone. How would, is that, do you have any holiday specials that you're offering?
Yes, I have you can gift somebody a free session with me, and they can upgrade that to a half an hour session with me, and they can themselves upgrade it to an hour for just $25.
Awesome. So,
or buy one, get one. Buy one session and gift another session.
Now, are your sessions virtual or in person?
Normally they're in person, but I can also do distant healing, in which we converse like this. You fill out paperwork and we talk about what your intentions are. And then you lay down wherever you are, and I do my thing here. And then I say, all right, get up and let's chat about what you experienced.
Okay, good to know, because I know right now it's super hard to connect with people in person just because of COVID. But for those who do want to connect with you in person, or who are local, because there are some people who are not local, but for the ones who are not local who want to connect with you to help them with their journey, it's great that you do it virtually as well.
Yes, absolutely. And you might think, oh, how can you do it virtually when you're not seeing me and you're not feeling my energy? But energy has no boundaries like we do. I'd have to either get on a plane or a car to go to New York. The same energy that's here is in New York. And spirit knows, like, hey, this is happening. And as I'm working with the energy here, it's taking place there.
Awesome. Well, you guys heard it from Sheila. Sheila, I'm going to talk about a few other gift items. What are some of your favorite gift giving items this holiday season? Do you have any favorites?
I do. I really like gem elixirs. I charge water with gems, and depending on whether you're working on love, whether you're working on communicating better, on awakening yourself. So I use different stones to charge water with, and I put it in this little dropper vial, and you just take a squirt of water, of this highly charged water, every day. So I really love gem elixirs. I love anything homemade. I like to sew. So any like eye pillows and just little bags, like tote bags, that I can gift people. Anything homemade.
Awesome. Yeah. And so I'm going to be making some, well, I'm going to try to make some candles, some soy candles. So I bought this whole kit to do a soy candle making, really for my family. Just as this year, I wanted to do something that was a little more sentimental by doing some handmade gifts myself to send out to my family members. So that's one of the things that I'll be doing.
When you make them and you start packaging them up, say a little prayer for the person, what you claim for them, speak words of life into that candle for them. So when they light it, that candle can emit that energy.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. I will do that. Yes, I will do that. So that's another thing. And then I'm going to also try to make a body scrub.
Oh, nice.
As well. So those are a couple of things that I'm going to make and give to my family and friends. And then, of course, for those who may not be as creative, I can't help but you're going to be home this holiday. Others will be home. So make sure you get a copy of my book, Chronicles of a Serial Dater. Or you can get Serial Dater survival kits, or you can use it as a cute makeup bag. Or you can put your crystals in here. Or you can get one of my shirts. This is what I'm wearing today, which is I'm a big fucking deal, because part of healing is also thinking and knowing and feeling and believing that you are a big deal. But we do have other ones such as I'm priority number 1, which I'll hold up here.
Okay.
There's also, for those who may have figured that, you know what, this person wasn't for me over the quarantine, there is on to the next. And for those who are serial dater, not on purpose, we always have the signature shirt, serial dater, that you can purchase as well. And it's not a negative thing to be a serial dater. I don't want anybody to think that. It's liberation as well. And lastly, one of my most controversial shirts is the D is easy. And why is it easy? Because there's got to be more to you fellas than that. We need a little bit more than that. That's the easy part.
Yes, the book is awesome. I couldn't put it down. I actually want the next version 2.
Yes. Well, listen, and that's the thing. I'm trying to get that finalized, and it's just been, with all of my other ambitions, trying to work it all in. But it'll get there. It took me. It was a 6-year journey to publishing this one. So in due time, when it's time to come out, it will happen, amongst other things. But I have some other pressing items now that I'm working on. But you can find all these items that I just showed at chroniclesofaserialdater.com. And you can visit the website and just shop there to purchase any of these items. And then we have, I have to do some announcements. For those who don't know, Cannabisiac, which is a global cannabis-focused ecosystem membership organization that is helping new and or existing businesses in the cannabis space grow through our incubator, accelerator, and co-working community. We have various membership specials happening now. We have our Cannabisiac University webinar coming up next Wednesday, as well as our Book of the Month next Friday, and our New Year's Eve bash, which we're bringing in the new year in all of the time zones in the US. So it's going to be a big party, DJ. We're going to be featuring 4 charities in the cannabis space. So you definitely want to tune in for that. And you can learn all about all of our events, our programs at cannabisiac.com. For all your marketing needs, make sure you check out the mosaicgroup.co. Whether you need branding, marketing, advertising, special event planning, getting your business, leveling up your brand for the new year, Mosaic Group is definitely here to help you. So I have to do all my shameless plugs. But yeah, Sheila, so anything you want to close out with?
Just know that you're powerful. Know that you're worthy of having the best life possible, and you matter.
No, I love that. And I have, and this was a gift that was given to me, was all these teas with different positive affirmations. So today I want to leave you with one. Hold on. And the one that I chose today was, life does not have to be perfect to be wonderful.
I love it.
It does not have to be perfect to be wonderful. And I know in our heads sometimes, especially as we're setting goals for 2021, as we're coming off of this year, some of us had an amazing year, some of us not so much. Life won't be perfect, and it doesn't have to be. It can still be wonderful. It can be whatever we choose to make it, whatever we choose to attract, whoever we choose to attract. We have that choice. We control that destiny. So life does not have to be perfect to be wonderful. That's what I want to leave you with on this Friday as you go into the weekend. Have an amazing weekend. Sheila, thank you for so much information and wisdom and even healing on this episode today that you've imparted on me, and even just from the comments from those who are listening in. So thank you for your time. Thank you for everything. Can't wait to have my session with you.
Yes, I'm ready.
And to come and learn how to properly use my bowl and my other tools.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. This was fun.
You're welcome. Thank you. And everyone, please share this video, because I am sure there's someone out there listening that can use this information, that it will benefit them, and it will just help them on their own journey. It will help them with their healing, help them with balancing and managing themselves. And that's all we can do, is manage ourselves. So have a great day. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you. Oh, I'll see you in the new year, because I am taking a break.
Smart.
So I will see you in January 2021. Make sure you tune in on January 8th. And if you're interested in being a guest on Tea with Ann Marie to talk about your business or politics or any community happenings, please inbox me, DM me, so that way, or you can email me at Ann Marie Sorrell. No, it's not Ann Marie Sorrell. At Ann Marie, or is it Ann Marie Sorrell? It may be.
This is Ann Marie at mosaicgroup.co.
Right. It's just too many email addresses, or Ann Marie at AnnMarieSorrell@gmail.com, or Ann Marie at mosaicgroup.co. So, or just inbox me. That's probably the easiest thing to do. And we'll get you booked for Tea with Ann Marie in the upcoming year. So thank you again, Sheila, and thanks for everyone who is listening. Have a great day.